to pillar 2, which are expenses. Now, this is the sneaky villain that sneaks up on you with business. Expenses, things that we don't see. Some of them are right in front. Oh, I pay rent. I pay $5,000 a month, whatever it is. That's easy. You see that coming. It's the things that you don't see coming. It's the variable expenses that might creep up on you. Those are the ones we have to think about. Think about fixed expenses. Now we're talking about your rent. Variable expenses could be, I don't know, it could be something as simple as the light bill, or it could be something as simple as what you're spending on a consistent basis. You have to be smart about these variables. What we try to do is to understand, where is my expenses, where's my money going? The more we know about where it's going, the better we're able to get to what we want to get to, which is the next slide, which is profit. So fixed versus variable. Spending ceilings by category. Identify the leaks. The leaks are those things that creep out. It could be simple things as, like in my real estate example going back, there were things where I wasn't putting all my rent in the bank. I was taking a piece, $100 here, taking it and going and doing something with it. Now, $100 doesn't seem like it's gonna make or break anything. But when I take $100 from each person that's renting, now let me be clear, I was still paying the rent. I was still paying my mortgage, guys, okay? Don't think but again, I was like 20. Okay, but the important thing is those leaks that creep up on you. Every business has them. But the more aware you are of those leaks, now you can begin to say, okay, I see this, I'm going to stop doing that. And lastly, you want to try to trim or automate things that are not helping your bottom line. Now it's important to, actually I'll leave that because we don't got enough time. All right, let me keep going. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do, I'm calling this a playbook move, reduce or renegotiate 2 expenses this quarter. For my up and coming entrepreneurs that haven't started yet, I want you to identify your variable expenses. I want you to research things that I may not see. Don't think about like rent or the cost of the platform I'm going to host on, whatever that is. Try to identify some variable expenses that you may not see coming. For the gentleman that owned the store, just think about things. Is there anything that's leaking out that I may not be aware of? Is there costs that I just may be sneaking out I just am not aware of? Think about those things. Yes, ma'am.
So one of the things that is one of those leaks is subscriptions.
Oh, yeah.
That you don't know you have. And they're automated. They're coming out
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
So it's good to check regularly, because a lot of times we have stuff we don't even use anymore.
So look here.
You say subscriptions.
Subscriptions. Yes. You can even do that at home. Now look, my wife watches a lot of TV. Okay. I know we have subscription, some TV subscriptions on some stuff that we don't need. But we've been paying this so long, when you see a bill, you're like, oh, it's $20. Oh, I cut off my cable, so now I must be saving money, but I got Netflix, Hulu, and everything else, but I'm still paying $200. That's just in your personal life. Just go ahead and take a look at your things, right? But that's a really good point. Oh my goodness, those subscriptions. Okay, real quick on Apple. How are Apple looking at controlling the cost that's going out? Let me get all the way through this thing. Okay, what they're doing is they're paying attention to what's important to them. So the research and development, this is where they spend most of their income. Most of their expenses are going to making sure the product is at its finest. This is where they spend the majority of their income, is going back into the business, research and development. And then it's the sales. All right, they got to produce more, they got to sell more, so now they got to spend money on the marketing and how to sell and support that. That's where they're spending that money, pushing that revenue toward. And then you got manufacturing and chain supply, then your retail and service operations. But keep in mind, going back to one of the earlier things that we're going to see from a profit perspective, their services are where they make most of their profit. Why? Because services are almost entirely straight profit. You're only paying the people that's working on it. If I fix cell phones, the only thing I'm paying for, right, just whatever the screen costs to fix it, but you're paying me. It's just me. It's my time, but that's a single person. We're talking about an organization, right? So key things that they do. They keep expenses lean and strategically aligned with innovation. This is a technology company, so I get it. We might not be in the technology industry, but whatever it is that's generating it, we have to reinvest. We have to make sure that we're growing this market. If I have clothes, the more clothes I buy, the more profit I begin to make. I'm trying to renegotiate the agreement I have so I can get the product a little bit cheaper. Same thing with anything that I'm doing. It's time to go back. If I have a year or 2 years of successful running and doing this, I want to come back and renegotiate. I'm getting money now. They outsource manufacturing, they invest heavily in the brand, retail, and they control their cost strategy. So ultimately, they understand where every dollar is going. Now, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. I think they're on the verge of being a trillion-dollar company. So for us small entrepreneurs, we should be able to track where our dollars are going. We should be able to see, doggone it, I didn't spend too much on coffee this week. That little $6 latte, or I can't even think of the Starbucks name, whatever that is, that's starting to add up. Because 6 times 5 days, now we're talking about some money. You do that over a 30-day period. Small things. All right, so think about this. What's one expense that you can cut or renegotiate this month? I challenge you to think about that. For my up-and-coming entrepreneurs that haven't started yet, I don't got a challenge for you. Just think about it. Okay, for the sake of time, folks, I apologize. We got to keep rolling. All right, let's talk about profit. That is your business health. Now we're talking about after things are paid. So think about profit is you take your revenue, you pull out your expenses, and you got profit. Now, technically, there's some other things in there, but let's just keep it simple for right now. Now we're talking about profit. So with the profit piece, you want to pay yourself first, reinvesting back into the business. Reinvesting back into the business. In your personal life, paying yourself first could be investing in a business like a stock, so owning a share of a stock, but paying yourself first is going to ultimately help you in the long run. I would set a monthly profit target. This may lead to some additional dialogue, but once you establish a baseline, then you want to begin to say, how can I begin to get that profit margin to creep up? There's only 2 ways to do it. I either need to add more revenue or reduce expenses. So then you want to start thinking about, how do I do that? Easiest way is to reduce revenue or reduce the expenses. Now, to get to profit, you got to have 2 things. Large businesses has them. I would say Tesla, but when Elon is focused, whether we like him or not, when he's focused, Tesla does really well. It takes clarity and discipline. Whatever your business is, if you don't have clarity, going back to the mission statement, if you don't have clarity around your business, what it's doing, what it's driving, what the profit is, what the revenue is, what the expenses are, it's hard to have success. And then you have discipline. Discipline is doing something when someone's not looking. I got to do it regardless. I don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning, but I read this article that said it's this 5 a.m. club, and that lead to different things. So I was like, you know what? I want to be a millionaire one day. Let me wake up at 5 o'clock. And now it becomes a custom. I don't want to work out at 5:30 in the morning, but I read this article that said, now all of a sudden I'm up at 5:30 in the morning working out. The point of it, that simple concept that I'm just talking about, apply to your business. You have to show up each and every day. You are going to make a tremendous amount of mistakes. It's okay. But you got to show up and be disciplined. If you're really running your business, you're going to get calls, you're going to get requests. Sometimes my wife gets, on the real estate side, she'll get calls from tenants at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, why you answer your phone like that? But she's disciplined. And she wants that relationship to make sure that it flourishes. She's focused on that. So that's the key thing to make sure that we have.
You know, while you're on that
Yes, ma'am.
subject, Mr. Hamilton,
Yes, ma'am.
a lot of people doesn't realize when they stay up and watching TV till 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't care if you get off at 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you have to manage your time.
Yeah.
I taught a class on time management. People didn't realize how much time that they were losing. Because they said, I can't do this. Why can't you do it? That's
Yeah.
a mindset.
Yes.
That mindset. Go to bed. Now, I can stay up sometimes till 3 o'clock, because sometimes I'm not going to get up until 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my own time.
Yes.
Strategize your telephone calls, and then you get up and check your, what is that, internet and everything on your business. I check my list every single morning.
Yes.
But I find myself being productive when I let go of some things. And another thing, get yourself organized. A lot of